Alright, what's up guys, Tactical here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Francis Ngannou went on Jake Paul's podcast, and he and Jake Paul revealed a lot, specifically Jake Paul. He said a lot of things in that video that, I never thought of, to be completely honest. And it pertains to Conor McGregor and the way the UFC is struggling now with the contract situation they're in with Conor. But before we get into this, if you like the video, comment, subscribe. That's all I care. Subscribe if you like the content. Let me know what you think about these stories and that. Anyways, I'm just gonna play this video. I'll pause it here and there to give my opinion, but yeah.
and uh, and the reason why I was even getting that much money is because I refuse to resign. Because if I have accept a new contract earlier on, I would have been paid more, but still not enough, and than what I thought I could have get paid, and
And
still
then
not with the
Okay, so for you guys that didn't follow the sport and didn't follow the story, whenever Francis was in the contract dispute with the UFC, pretty much what happened there was he he won the title from Stipe by knocking him out. And then he had one fight left on his contract. But he wanted to fight out his contract and renegotiate later. And I think the biggest thing was he wanted to box, and obviously at that stage he wanted leverage in his contract more so than the money. From what I heard, the UFC offered him 8 million, or no, it was over 8 because he signed for 8 plus pay per view for 2 fights with the PFL. Oh my god, indigestion. But um, he managed to get the boxing exemptions and be able to box Tyson Fury and then box Anthony Joshua, which that one didn't go well, but he still made a shit ton of money. Um, Now he has a fight with Renan Ferreira coming up, who is a monster, by the way. I'll get into him uh, in a sec. But Francis, or no, actually no. Well, we're not gonna get into that one. That one I'll do tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna keep this video specifically directed towards the Conor situation, UFC, and UFC negotiations. And from watching interviews and knowing a bit of what, like I've somewhat of an understanding of contract law and the UFC's contracts. I've seen um, videos breaking down and pictures like contracts. I sort of understand how they work as it pertains to the UFC, because the UFC they want to give fighters like um, lengthy contracts at a reasonable price, um, where they can promote you, still make money off of you, and make money as an organization. But with Francis Ngannou, Francis was making $600K for his defense against Gunn, which is very low for a UFC champion. He also made pay-per-view percentages, but he wouldn't have made nearly anywhere near the money he made in those two boxing matches with the contracts that the UFC would be comfortable giving him. Because Francis just made like 30 mil from two fights, and he has another 16 mil plus pay per view guaranteed with the PFL. So in four fights, he would have made $50 million, which is more than majority of the champions. Like that's probably double of what Sean O'Malley, and I don't know how much Sean O'Malley has made. That would probably be double what Sean O'Malley probably has made in his last two fights. Like Francis bet on himself tremendously. Anyways, we're about to talk about the Conor thing.
um, with things that I wanted,
And you'd be locked in for more fights.
and I would be locked
what
in. And my problem with being locked in is that I felt like I was on a one-way contract. You know, like yes, I'm giving up all my right, but I'm not having any engagement on the other side, any responsibility. Like, oh, if I don't do this, if I don't do this, then that, or if you don't get this, then that. I'm like, okay, exclusive contract, but they can decide not to make you fight for a year, even though they know that you need multiple fights per year to make a living.
And that's what's
And
happening.
you can't do anything.
That's what's happening to Conor right
And
now.
that's what I had. That's what I had at some point because I said no to like contract. So I have this. I feel like they were applying this financial pressure on me because they know that I need to fight to make money to live, and then by not getting those fights, giving me excuses all the time, I will probably crawl back and say, okay, I take the contract and this, and I take the money or something like that.
So that's what's happening to Conor McGregor right now. For the people at home who don't understand it, basically, they're like, why is Conor not fighting? So Conor has 2 fights left on his fight deal, but the UFC is trying to renew their rights deal because they license their content, which are the fights, to platform.
That is the part that I did not take into perspective. Now, I remember hearing a couple months ago that the new TV deal was happening, and I should have realized that because they've been on ESPN for a few years now. And I'm being honest, I think they will stay with ESPN. I think too. They're trying to. They'll probably get WWE on. Wait, WWE. I'm pretty sure WWE is on ESPN too. Like, they want to keep the TKO brand under the same network. Now, whether that means they combine the WWE network and UFC Fight Pass one day, I think they'll do that. But, like, with them heading into a brand new contract uh, for distribution with ESPN, they're able to say, hey, like, we're already achieving record numbers. Maybe because the ticket prices for things are fucking absurd. That's another video I want to make there. That I know everybody else has talked about it, but I want to. Like, Conor McGregor and what his value is astronomically larger than any other fighter on the roster right now outside of maybe Pereira. Pereira right now is the biggest star in the sport because he's active. But if we're talking about overall worth, Conor McGregor will always have the most worth in the combat sports world for as long as he is physically capable of competing. Now, he hasn't competed in years because he got injured, because he's running his businesses and partying all the time. But like anything the UFC does with Conor, whether it is Chandler, whether it is Nate Diaz, whether it's Max Holloway, whoever my Conor fights, it's gonna be a massive card. What they want to get him re-signed, especially with this whole BKFC, him being a part owner of BKFC. I'm interested to see whether or not the UFC would let him compete while under contract as a fighter at UFC, let him being an owner at BKFC. I still like that one is relatively new. I still want to see where that one goes, but like if Francis just made his gamble and he he turned what would have been, you know, uh, let's say UFC signed him on like an 8x8 plus pay per view. You know, maybe at most he makes 11 mil per fight. Um, before taxes, obviously. Now, over 8 fights, that's around 100 million. But like, he just had 2 boxing fights, um, where he made close, probably over $30 million. And the thing with athletes too is that a lot of people don't take into account is that the moment a high level athlete gets that kind of money, their accountants and financial advisors put that money to work. That money is generating money. Like you look at Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor will be the first billionaire like the first billionaire mixed martial artist. You know, it's inevitable. If it hasn't happened, it will happen soon. But like with Francis, right? Him coming from nothing and being able to turn, you know, the contract he was on of 600K to 30 million in under a year and a half. That's incredible. But imagine what Conor McGregor makes on an open market. He already made $100 million fighting Floyd. But like, does he go and try and do the Pacquiao fight? If he went over to BKFC, I'm pretty sure that would sell insanely well. Now that he's a part owner, like anything Conor does in and around martial arts and entertainment as a whole will be successful. And with Jake Paul bringing up the TV deal, it all makes so much sense now.
So they're trying to renew their deal with they're negotiating multiple people, but let's say it's going to go with ESPN. They're trying to renew the deal and get the most amount of money. So a part of that negotiation is, hey, we have Conor McGregor for 2 more fights. But if he were to fight now, that wouldn't be a part of the negotiation. The company would be like, oh, yeah, well, you only have Conor for one fight. So that's why Conor's not fighting right now. And this is what they do to the fighters is if you sign the contract that you didn't sign, if you win, then you're like locked in for 3 more fights or something like that. And each contract is different, but you basically don't want to win because then you're locked in for 3 more fights, and then you have all these triggers, is what they're called, where if you do something, then this happens, or if you lose, then this happens, and so you're basically just like owned and operated across the board. But what you did is super historic because you chose.
That right there is what I totally did not take into account. And he is totally right as far as his Connor's UFC contract. Um, because with Connor, I guarantee you, they pay him substantial money, and I've heard numbers all over the place. It's been like 20, 30 per fight in the UFC. But like with the UFC being so close to a new TV deal, and keep in mind this is the first TV deal that that their company Endeavor uh, is doing with this TKO thing. I guarantee you, wherever the UFC goes, the WWE will go. And having Conor under contract is very, very valuable leverage when it comes to those meetings. But yeah, that's that's what was revealed on Jake Paul's podcast. I think he's right, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments what do you think about Jake Paul's theory. I guess we can call it that, but I think he's totally right. But in other Conor news, apart from him potentially fighting quarter 1 next year, we've got this. Now, Conor McGregor is known to tweet some outlandish shit, but this one right here, I was not expecting. He tweeted this one last night, or yesterday morning, apparently. As president, I hold the power to summon the Dolly as well as dissolve it. So, as I said before, I would have all the answers the people of Ireland seek from the seeds of the working men. Oh my god, I hate indigestion. If you watch my videos, indigestion is like my biggest enemy in recording. But these disruptors of the family unit, these disruptors of small businesses, and on and on and on. These charlatans and their positions of power would be summoned to answer to the people of Ireland, and I would have it done by day end, or I would be left with no choice but to dissolve the deal entirely. Stop the train until the people of Ireland deserve the answers they seek. Point blank, this will be my power as president. I know very well Ireland needs an active president employed wholly by the people of Ireland. It is me. I am the only logical choice. 2025 is upcoming. This, wait, okay, Conor McGregor, he's a character, right? You never know what he's gonna say. But if he fucking becomes president of Ireland, first of all, president of Ireland in 2025, when apparently he's planning to fight Chandler in 2025, like, just the story that is right there. Because I guarantee you, he would end his martial arts career if he became president. I'm assuming. But, like, imagine he comes back, knocks out Chandler, retires, becomes president of Ireland, and fixes Ireland. Like, dude, this is. Well, like, no wonder Dana doesn't want him to fight because I'm pretty sure, like, he told Dana about this months ago, probably years ago. But yeah, Conor McGregor becoming president, and I really think he'd be a tremendous president. I think he would be able, um, unlike Trump, where Trump is just a controversial figure in America. From what I know about Conor McGregor in Ireland, he's unanimously loved, and if he can, put together, a well-run country, and I assume, he'd lean more right. But I mean, again, too, like, by right, I mean common sense, and to be honest, there are people in Democratic parties that I consider right at this point. Even though I think, like, right today is, like, libertarian left 10 years ago. It makes no sense. Well, President McGregor might be a thing as of next year. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about Jack Paul's theory on Conor McGregor's activity? What do you think about Conor McGregor becoming the fucking president of Ireland? And yeah, have a good day.